Hi, the purpose of this screencast is to demo how to expose a Python package via a REST API. We will create a mini NLP module and use it on a Python app. We will then use the same module to expose an API on a web. First, we make sure the required packages are installed, Flask and Simple JSON. Then we create a project folder. Let's call this NMDG API. Then we go inside the project folder. Now we create a Python package named nmdg. So a Python package is just a folder with a special file inside named init.py. Without the init.py, importing nmdg will result to an error. Now we add init.py. We are using the command touch, which for existing files updates the file's access time, but if the file is not existing, it will create the file. Okay, now import should work. No error. NMDG is where we will build our NLP module, nlp.py. Now we will edit nlp.py. nlp.py will contain common NLP routines, and one of them is tokenizing a string. So we have ref tokenize the input string. And we write a short reminder what the tokenize function does. So we split the string on a white space and return the result. Okay, now we can test our module using the Python CLI. Okay, import NLP dot tokenize sample string. Now the result shows a list of strings divided between a space character. Okay, now let's test our amazing package on the command line, or sorry, on a Python app. I usually use the command tree to see which files are already in the source code tree. So under nmdg, we have init.py and nlp.py. Then create app.py to consume the API. So let's use our newly minted module, nmdg, and create our run function. And inside run, we use our tokenize function. To make this application run on its own, we test for main and call run with the first command line parameter, sys argv1. Actually, it's the second. The first parameter is the name of the script. argv0 is the name of the script. So argv1 is whatever we add after the name of the script. And then we just print the result. Now sys requires the sys package. Okay. Check from nmdg import nlp import sys run input. Okay, looks good. Now to check for errors, we can import the package, import the app. If there are errors, import errors, then we will fix them. No errors, so it could probably be run. Parameter is hello world. Voila! Hello world. Now let's expose the API via a web interface. We are going to use the Flask framework, so all the boilerplate are already taken care of. We're going to return a JSON encoded response, and we'll be doing so with all our API, unless there is a need for another data encoding. So here is the web application. It requires simple JSON and our nmdg package, specifically the NLP module and the Flask framework. We create a global Flask app, and then first we will expose an API named tokenize. So tokenize is appended to the base URL of the API. App route syntax specifies as tokenize path to run def tokenize. Then we get we will call the input string as input from the command line or from the API call. So input string equals request that args dot get. The name of the parameter is input, and then we call our tokenize function. Pass in string, and then return a JSON response. Typically, the JSON response will contain a status field where you can specify if the call is okay or it has an error. And then if it has an error, we'll specify the error message. But if it's okay, we just will return data or result. The default JSON package from the Python standard library has issues serializing um, nested objects. That's why I'm using simple JSON. Okay, so to run this as a standalone application, again we test for main. Name of the module is main. Then we call up.run. Then we need to specify where the application will run. Host equals localhost and port 8080. Check import simple JSON as JSON tg port NLP from Flask import Flask request app Flask upload tokenize we get input new string. Okay, let's try to run this and see if there are import errors. None, so we can run this. We are running our web app on localhost using the port 8080. There are at least two ways we can test the app via web browser and via curl on the command line. Let's see how it goes with the web browser. Localhost 8080 slash tokenize. Then our parameter input equals hello plus port. Ta-da! Voila! Status okay, result hello world. You can also run it via curl. Status okay, result hello world. I use echo to get a properly formatted result. Okay. There. Done.